Happy day, children. Welcome to the next session of Grade 6 Science, Chapter 5, Separation of Substances. Some of the common methods to separate a solid liquid mixture are sedimentation and decantation, filtration, distillation, and evaporation. Substances like sugar and salt that dissolve readily in liquids are said to be soluble. Substances like sand and flour that do not dissolve in liquids are said to be insoluble in water. Insoluble substances that are heavier than the liquid are separated by sedimentation and decantation or by filtration. Soluble substances are separated by evaporation and condensation. Sedimentation and decantation. When you allow a mixture of sand and water undisturbed for some time, the sand particles will settle down at the bottom of the beaker. So the sand particles that have settled down at the bottom of the beaker is called as sediments. Sedimentation is the process of settling down of heavy solids in a mixture of a liquid and an insoluble solid. Now, the liquid forms a clear layer at the top. This layer of liquid or water can be removed without disturbing the sand at the bottom by a process called decantation. Decantation is the removal of the clear layer of liquid without disturbing the settled solids. Filtration. Filtration is a very common method used in our homes to separate tea leaves from tea. Filtration is the process by which very fine insoluble solids can be separated from a solid liquid mixture by passing it through a suitable porous material. Fruit and vegetable juices are also filtered to remove the seeds and pulp. In the laboratory, filtration is done using filter paper. The liquid that passes through the filter paper during the process of filtration is called as filtrate. The insoluble solids that are retained on the filter paper during the process of filtration is called as the residue. Evaporation. Evaporation is the process of converting liquid into its vapor form. Evaporation is used to separate soluble solid particles from a solution. The dry solid particles are left behind when the liquid evaporates. Distillation. Distillation is the process by which a pure liquid is obtained from a solution by evaporating the liquid and then condensing the vapors again. This process is called distillation. During distillation, a solution is heated till the solvent starts evaporating. This vapor is then collected and condensed to give back the pure solvent. The water obtained after distillation is called distilled water and is used in the laboratories and car batteries. So now we have learned different methods of separating components from a mixture. Now, what happens if more than two similar components are mixed in a mixture? How can you separate them? How are you going to use more than one method to separate substances? Let's see it. Some components in a mixture cannot be separated using only one method. For example, a mixture of sand and salt. To separate these components, stir the mixture in water. The sand will not dissolve and so can be separated by filtration. The dissolved salt can be isolated then by evaporation. Saturation. When you add salt to water and stir it, what happens? The salt will dissolve. Now, keep on adding salt, and every time you add salt, dissolve it completely. Now, after some time, you will find that no more salt dissolves in water. So what has happened? We now have a saturated solution of salt in water. A saturated solution is one in which no more solute can be dissolved. However, if we heat the solution and stir it, we will dissolve more salt. Thus, the solubility of salt in water increases with temperature. So children, in this lesson, we have learned different methods to separate components of different types of mixtures. Thank you.